a flow here, so I found another spot to stream. I've actually never been here before, so this is all new to me. It's a very nice spot though. Let's see, just a minute ago I found this perfect spot for my chair. Let's see if I can get it to go there again. I think it's right there. Okay, let's see. Oh, shoot, I forgot to do something. What? What's this trash? I accidentally clicked. I didn't click on it, but it registered a click on it. Stupid thing. Okay, I think that's everything. Let's see. Too bad I don't have a footstool. That's the only slight imperfection of this spot. Otherwise, it's awesome. What am I doing? Can't remember. Oh yeah. Okay. Let me get a drink. I haven't really drinking much since I've been out. This is a ridiculously awesome spot, by the way. There's like I don't know how on earth this thing exists, but it's just like this straight big up wall of lava out of nowhere. It's kind of a tiny, I guess you could call it a tiny butte, or maybe it's a butte that was forming and it just stopped before it became an actual full-size normal one. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. It's not exactly easy to get to. Otherwise, I would say, man, I'd like to come here more often. This is really cool. But it's not the worst place to get to, but it's a lot of driving on rough forest roads. So, but yeah, I might come here again sometime. Okay, so let's do the Bible reading. Hopefully I can be a little bit more succinct and not so talking. I actually had to climb a little bit to get up here. It's not like super technical climbing, but if you saw like how drop off it is there and how drop off it is here, you might wonder how I got up here. But there's actually a kind of a spot back there that's not that hard to get up, really. And if I didn't wander around, it's often, if you see a rock pinnacle like this, it's best to try to kind of walk around for different angles, because sometimes there's a really easy way to get up. Actually, this will work. I'm a little bit cattywampus in the chair, but yeah, there's usually some easier way, often on the back upper slope of a rock pinnacle. There's a easier approach. Not always, though. But this one I could either basically climb up a bunch of crumbly, dangerous rocks, or walk up the backside. It's much easier. Okay. Hopefully this is working. Oh, I discovered I am recorderoing. Gotta just add some more syllables. I am recording on my phone, but I think it records at the same bitrate that my stream records. What I was hoping for is a way to record like full resolution, like awesome looking, high quality footage, and then I could upload those later to YouTube and whatever. But I think it records the same bitrate that I'm streaming at, so it's not going to be necessarily any better or different, except that maybe, I don't know how it works, but if it's recording locally at that bitrate consistently, not using the internet, which why would it use the internet if it's just recording straight to the phone? So it might just like be a steady constant bitrate, whereas the stream, dips and peaks based on the signal strength. But unfortunately, I don't think you can set a custom bitrate for the recording. That would be super cool. Like a higher, well, actually maybe you can. I don't remember. I'll have to look through the settings, but yeah. Anyway, if you could record a different bitrate than what you're streaming at, you could get a better quality recording that you could use for post-production. The interesting thing is, though, my battery wasn't lower than usual, and I was recording and streaming at the same time, which you'd think I'd have to encode twice, but I don't know. And it didn't even feel hot. This time might be an exception, though, because I don't have my umbrella over the phone, so we'll see. Anyway, enough tech talk. Let's get into the reading. Dear Lord, it seems like I was just talking to you, which I wish I could talk to you all day long. I sometimes often fail to do so, and you're always there, you're always available, always ready to listen, and I believe you're always ready to speak to us if we're listening. Pray that we would say less and listen more and be able to hear your spirit. It's cryptic with us being flesh-bound body creatures to adapt to tune into your spirit. I don't know how exactly you speak to us, other than through the word and through others and stuff like that. But if you speak directly to us, I don't know how to put up the right antenna sometimes, because I feel like I just don't know. Anyway, I know you're always there, and help me to be more aware of your presence and seek you out more Thank you for this time and this place that I can live stream and enjoy beauty of your nature and share the reading of your word with anyone who's interested. I pray that you would bring people here to listen that need to be here for this time, this day, and pray that you would speak words to them that are just what they need to hear. And I pray that doing this activity and this practice would inspire others to read the Bible for themselves, to pick up a Bible or a phone app or whatever, so that they don't just rely on me for this, but they realize they can go straight to you, straight to your word, and to hear from you anytime they want. And I thank you for all this. Pray that you'd help me to read clearly and to be a blessing to people around me. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, here we go. So, pretty obvious since it was on the screen, but we're going to be reading Job chapters 35 to 37 and John chapter 3. Job chapter 35. And Elihu went on to say, "Do you think this is just? You say, I am more righteous than God. For you ask, what does it profit me, and what benefit do I gain apart from sin? I will reply to you and to your friends as well. Look to the heavens and see. Gaze at the clouds high above you. If you sin, what do you accomplish against him? If you multiply your transgressions, what do you do to him? If you are righteous, what do you give him? Or what does he receive from your hand? Your wickedness affects only a man like yourself, and your righteousness only a son of man. Men cry out under great oppression. They plead for relief from the arm of the Almighty, or of the mighty. But no one asks, where is God my Maker, who gives us songs in the night, who teaches us more than the beasts of the earth and makes us wiser than the birds of the air? There they cry out, but he does not answer because of the pride of evil men. Surely God does not listen to empty pleas, and the Almighty does not take note of it. How much less then when you say that you do not see him, that your case is before him, and you must wait for him, and further that in his anger he has not punished or taken much notice of folly. So Job opens his mouth in vain and multiplies words without knowledge. I know a lot of that sounds like false accusations to me. I don't remember Job saying that thing about sin that Elihu said. That sounds like a twisting of his words. That's weird. He uses truth, but he uses it in a kind of a deceptive way, in my opinion. I don't know. I'm not really a fan of his words at all. I kind of like the other, I like what Job says better than him, but even the other friends weren't so just brutal and seemingly misguided. Anyway, man, I hope I have better friends than that when stuff happens to me. So far so good, but haven't had quite that stuff that Job has experienced. Man, what a discouraging time just to have people like that surrounding you if you're just going through the worst. Can you imagine? Like those people in the floods and the hurricanes and tornadoes going on. Can you imagine people coming up to them and just saying these kind of things? Wow, that is very insensitive. Isn't even the word. I can't even think of a word strong enough to describe how messed up that is. Supremely messed up. Really bad. All right, let's go on to the next chapter. I don't think Job said he's more righteous than God either. Like, it's kind of like the same thing that Satan did in the garden. Like, Satan's like, did God really say you can't eat of any tree in the garden? It's like this tricky way of saying things. And at least Eve was smart enough to say, no, he didn't say that. He said we could eat the trees in the garden, but this one tree we can't eat of. And yeah, Elihu is like, I feel like he's doing the same exact thing. He's like twisting Job's words. It's so irritating. Job chapter 36. And Elihu continued, bear with me a little longer, and I will show you that there is more to be said on God's behalf. I get my knowledge from afar, and I will ascribe justice to my Maker. For truly my words are falsehood. One perfect in knowledge is with you. Indeed, God is mighty, but he despises no one. He is mighty in strength of understanding. He does not keep the wicked alive, but he grants justice to the afflicted. He does not take his eyes off the righteous, but he enthrones them with kings and exalts them forever. And if men are bound with chains, caught in cords of affliction, then he tells them their deeds and how arrogantly they have transgressed. He opens their ears to correction and commands that they turn from iniquity. If they obey and serve him, then they end their days in prosperity and their years in happiness. But if they do not obey, then they perish by the sword and die without knowledge. The godless in heart harbor resentment. Even when he binds them, they do not cry for help. They die in their youth among the male shrine prostitutes. God rescues the afflicted by their affliction and opens their ears in oppression. Indeed, he drew you from the jaws of distress to a spacious and broad place, to a table full of richness. But now you are laden with the judgment due the wicked. Judgment and justice have seized you. Be careful that no one lures you with riches. Do not let a large bribe lead you astray. Can your wealth or all your mighty effort keep you from distress? Do not long for the night when people vanish from their homes. Be careful not to turn to iniquity, for this you have preferred to affliction. Behold, God is exalted in his power. Who is a teacher like him? Who has appointed his way for him, or told him, you have done wrong? Remember to magnify his work, which men have praised in song. All mankind has seen it, men behold it from afar. Indeed, God is great, beyond our knowledge. The number of his years is unsearchable. For he draws up drops of water which distill the rain from the mist, which the clouds pour out and shower abundantly on mankind. Furthermore, who can understand how the clouds spread out, how the thunder roars from his pavilion? See how he scatters his lightning around him and covers the depths of the sea. For by these he judges the nations and provides food in abundance. He fills his hands with lightning and commands it to strike its mark. The thunder declares his presence. Even the cattle regard the rising storm. Yeah, there's definitely truth in what Elihu is saying, but it's a lot of conjecture as well. It's interesting because the Bible allows these kind of words to be in there. God allowed these kind of words to be in there, but he trusts us with the ability to discern between what's truth and fiction, because he doesn't outright say necessarily that like everything Elihu is saying is wrong. He just lets it be, and we just kind of have to figure it out. But those who've, known God all their lives kind of can figure out some of that stuff just by basic, I don't know what the word is, just intuition, I guess. Like, I can kind of tell some of the things that Elihu is saying are correct, but a lot of it's also wrong. So I'm coming over here because I have I feel like there might be a tick on me, so I'm just going to check it real quick. Just feel. The one cool thing about ticks is they are a little bit tickly because of their little legs. So you can often feel them. I don't see anything, so I think I'm okay for now. Might have just been an ant or something. Okay. Starting to get pretty windy, so I want to get the reading done before I get overwhelmed with super windy stuff. Hopefully the camera isn't like too moving around too much. Alright, let's see if I can find that spot again. Looks like it almost wants to go where it should be. I could just sit on the rocks as well, but it's definitely more comfortable with the chair if I can get it upright. All right, one more chapter in Job and then on to John. Job chapter 37. At this my heart also pounds and leaps from its place. Listen closely to the thunder of his voice and the rumbling that comes from his mouth. He unleashes his lightning beneath the whole sky and sets it and sends it to the ends of the earth. Then there comes a roaring sound. He thunders with his majestic voice. He does not restrain the lightning when his voice resounds. God thunders wondrously with his voice. He does great things we cannot comprehend. For he says to the snow, "Fall on the earth," and to the gentle rain, "Pour out a mighty downpour." He seals up the hand of every man, so that all men may know his work. The wild animals enter their lairs, they settle down in their dens. The tempest comes from its chamber, and the cold from the driving north winds. By the breath of God the ice is formed, and the watery expanses are frozen. He loads the clouds with moisture. He scatters his lightning through them. They swirl about, whirling at his direction, accomplishing all that he commands over the face of all the earth. Alright, I might have to redo this one. I think this phone is having a connection problem. I'm pressing the buttons to go to the next slide and it's just taking forever. Hey Xanatos. So let's see if we can fix that somehow. Might start this chapter over if I can get it going again. probably a issue with the hotspot not being very strong. I don't know what's going on here. I might have to reset this phone or something. Still a little bit slow, but it seems to be working out. I think this cell phone has a really weak connection for some reason. I don't really understand why, because the one that I'm using to stream over there seems okay. It's not like the best connection ever, but it should be good enough for stuff like this. Oh, well, I might miss some chat messages too, because if it's that bad, then it might not be bringing in all the chat messages. Oh well, I'll just get this reading over with so we can end the stream. Hopefully it's streaming at, good enough looking quality or whatever. Alright, I'm going to start over with chapter 37 because I don't know what's happening here. Yeah, that's really slow. Very strange. at least I can relax and enjoy the being up here, even if I can't get this silly stuff to work. Yeah, I think the issue is with this phone is not connecting well. I don't know why. Try it, see if I can reset it or something. So I'll miss some chat messages if anybody's here. I don't know what's going on with this phone, but I can't see chat right now, so. It's probably like, I wouldn't be surprised if it's time-based, like it's kind of like evening, people are getting off work, using their cell phones more, something like that. It wouldn't surprise me. If I can get this to work, I'll just finish the reading and then end the stream, because I can't really interact very well when it's doing stuff like this. Not even sure like which direction a tower would be out here, honestly. I'm kind of surprised there's any connection, but always surprised. Never really know what there's gonna be. What, like right down here, right below this pile of rocks, pinnacle, whatever, there was no signal down there. But once I got up on these rocks, it was pretty good on that phone. But for some reason, this one is not doing well. I don't know why. Might have to read the last couple chapters on the next stream if I can't get this to work. I could just read them like on my phone, but like I want to have a consistent presentation with the words on screen and stuff. And if I can't get that to work, I'll just wait till next time. This would probably be a pretty nice sunset tonight, unless all those clouds just like suddenly disappear. They'll be right where the sun's going down. Yeah, there's like a terrible connection on this phone. Pretty sure that's what the issue is. I should check that, my streaming phone. Maybe the stream actually died too, because if this one's, I mean, there's like no connection on this phone. And if that one is the same, then the stream might have died a while ago. If this one's fine, I don't understand why that would be different for two different phones. It's just weird. Okay, so this one is still okay. That's pretty weird. I guess, I mean, obviously each phone has different capabilities and antennas and whatnot, but you would think, because they're both on the same cell network, so you would think it would be the same. Okay, interesting. So over here, that's weird. I'm like 2 steps away over there, but if I come over here and do a speed test, it's like much better. Okay. That tells me what I need to know. So, I think what I'll do, I'll either change the camera angle and sit over here, or I'll just sit over here and not be in the camera for the last couple chapters, because I think we can, if I sit over here, it looks like I might be able to get it to work. Possibly, anyway. It's considerably better than over there. So we'll try flipping the camera back around the other way. See if that makes any difference. Of course, if I move the main streaming camera, it might actually disrupt the signal of that one too. Maybe I just had it in a perfect spot that it's the only place. That seems unlikely, but you know. I guess I'll just end it here. Sorry. Maybe do the. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I will catch you all later.